The Lelantine War, a tale of rivalry and blood. The wind howled across the plains of Euboea, carrying with it the whispers of war. The scent of sweat and iron filled the air, mingling with the cries of men preparing for battle. For decades, the rival city-states of Chalcis and Eretria had vied for dominance over the fertile Lelantine Plain, and now, the time had come for their final reckoning. The seeds of war had begun, as wars often do, with land and power. The Lelantine Plain, rich with soil capable of feeding armies and expanding influence, had long been a source of contention. Chalcis, with its powerful warriors and strategic alliances, sought to dominate the region entirely. Eretria, a city of naval supremacy and wealthy merchants, would not bow so easily. For years, tensions simmered beneath the surface. Skirmishes erupted between the farmers of both cities, and the blood of innocent men and women stained the fields that once promised prosperity. Yet, it was not until the ambitious tyrant, Myson of Chalcis, declared the land his own that the war truly began. Eretria, unwilling to submit, sent word to its allies across the Aegean. Ships arrived from Samos, warriors from Miletus, and traders from Caria, all willing to lend their strength. But Chalcis, too, had its allies. Corinth, a city known for its iron discipline, stood firmly behind them, along with Thessalian cavalry whose charge could break even the strongest phalanx. The war was no longer a mere dispute, it was a struggle that would shape the destiny of Greece. The first battle was fought beneath the scorching sun. Thousands of hoplites clashed on the Lelantine Plain, their bronze shields gleaming, their spears thrusting forward with deadly precision. Men fought not just for their city, but for glory, for vengeance, and for survival. Chalcidian warriors, disciplined and relentless, pushed the Eretrians back. But the Eretrians, fierce and determined, retaliated with devastating counterattacks. The battle raged for hours, neither side willing to yield. At last, a cry rang out: Corinthian reinforcements. A new wave of warriors surged into the battlefield, their spears cutting through the Eretrian lines like a scythe through wheat. Eretria's forces wavered. Their general, Phorbas, a seasoned veteran of many conflicts, ordered a retreat before more lives were lost. The turning tide. Eretria, though beaten, was not broken. Using its superior naval power, the city launched raids along the Chalcidian coastline. Flames engulfed villages, and Chalcidian trade suffered. In response, Chalcis called upon its Thessalian allies, whose horsemen ravaged Eretrian territories, burning crops and driving the population into starvation. With each passing season, the war drained both sides. What had once been a conflict over land became an all-consuming struggle for survival. Generals died, warriors fell, and alliances wavered. But neither city relented. The betrayal and the end. It was at the height of the war that treachery turned the tide. One night, an Eretrian noble, bribed by Chalcis, opened the city gates to the enemy. Under the cover of darkness, Chalcidian warriors stormed into Eretria, slaughtering those who resisted and burning homes to the ground. The Eretrians fought valiantly, but the betrayal had sealed their fate. By dawn, the city lay in ruins. Those who survived were either enslaved or fled to distant lands. The great city of Eretria, once a beacon of trade and culture, had fallen. The Lelantine War was over, and Chalcis stood victorious, but at a cost far greater than land. Both cities were weakened, their power diminished, their glory forever scarred by the war. The legacy. Though the war had ended, its consequences rippled through Greece. Other city-states took heed of the devastation, learning from the mistakes of Eretria and Chalcis. Alliances shifted, military tactics evolved, and the seeds of greater conflicts were sown. The Lelantine War was not just a battle over land, it was a defining moment in Greek history, a war that shaped the fate of nations and reminded the world of the true price of ambition and rivalry.